Sonic body kick again.
Oh, Warriors' voice will be heard.
All right, I'm about to say restreams on Act Stupid today. Yeah, what it dooski, baby? We are back at it. Yes, we weren't here last week, but that's because we was at Karate Combat 51. Had a lot going on. It's a lot that happened. And currently, right now, we're in MMA Drought, but we are here to give you a little bit of fix of that. We can talk about some combat sports. Now, as always, I got my co-host with me today. My man Mallory Woods up at the top is with us today, as well as my boy MMA Pickers. So, how you boys doing today? And you ready to get into the conversation on this crazy KO field KC 51 card?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I think Picker said it the best in the pre-show. The MVP and the most pit time were the paramedics this past event.
Yeah, 100%. Paramedics. Shout out to paramedics and Fort Lauderdale that helped us out. Also, shout out Pat Bet David, which I was upset I didn't get to meet him, bro. It's crazy. I came to do like a rehearsal, and it was like, oh, you don't got to do rehearsal. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm about to spin out. I left. I think I was with Leo, and I was telling Leo about who Pat Bet David was, and then he sent me a video like, oh, he's there right now. And I was like, damn, bro. We had like literally just left 5 minutes ago. So shout out Pat Bet David for letting us do it. Florida. All of the people who helped us out too, because there was some loops we had to jump through, but we did it as always. Like I said, bro, if you don't know KC by now, bro, they make shit happen, man. The people on the team there, they really get shit done even when shit gets hectic. So shout out the team. Shout out everybody who made it happen. And yeah, big up to the paramedics. Pickers, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. That was a hell of an event. King was really cool to let you park your private jet right out front. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How you get rims on the jet?
Listen. My man Latrell Speedwell hooked me up. You know what I'm saying? If you know old school basketball, you
You
familiar
should-
with the Speedwell.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
old. That's like
That's-
You know what I'm
25 years.
saying? So I got a little bit, you know what I mean? Dub
It's people
edition
Googling Latrell Sprewell right now.
Remember what was in the Knicks?
Who's
I remember that guy.
Speedwell?
That's
Nah, but nah. I wish that was my private jet. Nah, man. But that was dope. Like,
awesome. Full of venue,
I don't know
yeah.
if anybody else peeped it. But I felt like we was on Guile's stage.
I was
in Street
just
Fighter.
gonna say that.
That's
gonna
how I
say
felt.
Street Fighter vibes.
Yeah, Street
Really
Fighter,
felt
Guile.
yeah. I like
You know
being in the background. It was a great. event.
Exactly, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah, it
And
was,
you was right there. Yo, you had mad shots. So I was watching the fight back because, you know, a lot of the times I miss bits and pieces of the fight from them moving me around to go do stuff. But I'm watching it back, bro. You got, and looking at pictures, you're in so many shots of like key points. Like when Arturo was like being emotional and Prez was standing there right there with him, you're like right in the back of that picture. Yeah. Like, look at my boy in that airtime. Let's go. So yeah, man, I seen a bunch of my homies. My one homie was watching the fight the whole time. He was just looking mad serious. Like, you watch Alves do the capoeira kick, and my boy's just sitting there like, cool. I'm like, bro, like that shit. I'm screaming and I'm about to go on air. Like, this man was just standing there still face, but crazy card, man. We about to get through it. Is there anything MMA wise you boys want to talk about before we hop into this? Any news?
Biggest thing, Mike Beltran got his BJJ black belt.
Yo, that was dope. I seen that. I commented on that. That was dope, man. It was crazy. He had to hold his damn beard like this.
Yeah, that made me wonder. Does he tuck the mustache when he rolls? Because that could get in the way.
Yeah, facts. I think he has to. But then think about it. Like, what if you go for a rear naked and you kind of get up under the beard? You don't want to pull a man beard. That's rough because he refs with it in his shirt.
Right.
He refs with it in his shirt. So I don't know, man. That's a good question. I'm pretty sure he's got videos up though too of him like on YouTube rolling. I gotta check that out. But yeah, shout out Mike, man. Mike is I love Mike. Mike is one of my favorite. Mike, I can't say the same about Herzog. Herzog's cool. He's been better for me lately. He's been doing stuff in my favor that I don't like. So I'm like, whatever. As long as it's in favor of me, we chill. You know what I'm saying? But Goddard, that's my dude. And then Dean. I think Dean, some people get on Dean, but if you add Dean's good calls, like if you put the good calls next to the questionable or bad calls,
right,
it's not even close. The good calls outweigh it so much, bro. Like You know, Dean has saved a lot of people. Now, according to Derek Lewis, it was Dean's fault, but but yeah, man. Shout out Mike. MMA pickers, you got anything? And if not, we could jump into this card.
Not MMA or UFC related per se. It's a little bit more in the realm of boxing, but I've been seeing a lot of rumors on the internet of a Conor McGregor Logan Paul boxing match in India.
Yeah.
That is weird, man.
Bro,
What do you guys think about that? That was not on my bingo card for 2025.
Hey, Connor. Okay, that's for 303, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Bro. Listen. I'm tight, bro. This man, I love Connor, bro, and I love the order around his fights and everything he does to build it up and the spectacle it is, right? Because that is the best fighters, the ones who can build a fight to build that excitement around everything, right? Love it. But for the past, I don't know how long, bro, this man has been blue balling the entire MMA community, bro. Yeah. And I'm tired of it, bro. Like, we tired of it. We tired of you coming to get a bag to go get another bag. And we all know what bag that is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And there's always this hype to do this. He gets a bunch of sponsors. He started doing gambling streams and all that stuff. And then you see him drunk with some random chick in a bar, dancing, doing some weird stuff. Like, and then he never fights. So I don't even know if this should have happened, but I honestly don't care because I want to see the man fight in the UFC. The man made Michael Chandler wait forever. He make everybody wait forever. Everybody call him out. He don't fight. And then you talking about boxing. Man, that man Logan Paul is going. He probably going to beat him up. To be honest, I don't know why these MMA dudes keep trying to go to boxing. Stay the fucking MMA. Y'all getting beat the fuck up over there.
Who's coming over from boxing?
They're not really winning.
Who's doing that, you know?
All of the ones that fought, Jake Paul and Logan Paul, they all came from MMA over to boxing and they all lost.
Right.
There was one guy, Tony, he fought Randy Couture.
Oh, lights out, Tony. Lights out.
Yeah,
Tony.
Okay. James Tony, lights out.
Yeah.
James Tony.
But that's what I'm saying. Look at
45 seconds, got choked out.
Look at the ratio.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know? Stick to what you're good at.
Yeah.
But also, I understand that, you know, you see the purse differential for boxing, for MMA.
100%.
And those guys are like, hey, you know, let's go up there. I'll make a big score, and then, you know, whatever happens. But sure, how about somebody else dipping the toe in? You want to go to your area of expertise, so trade that, trade that ring for, you know, a cage or octagon or whatever, and see if the fortunes still play out. That's what I want to see, who's going to be brave enough to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that is where it's at. I think that's why Clarissa don't want to fight Cyborg in that ring, in that cage for real. I don't know if she want to fight her at all, but she's got a fight coming up too. And she's supposed to be fighting like this weekend.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, this
she
weekend.
Got the fight, got the movie coming out. Got like, you know,
yeah. She still got a lot of beef going on too. They just had a sit down with her about that whole situation we talked about last time.
There's a whole lot to do at the end of the year.
Yeah, she got a lot. She going into 2025 with a lot on her plate. I'll tell you that. But speaking on going into 2025, in order to go into 2025, we have to leave 2024. And unfortunately, the last card of the year just happened for us. What the hell? Let's do this. There we go. All right. Last card. No, what the restream. Get it together, B. Get it together, B. Get it together. All right. So last card of the year happened. And we're gonna go ahead and do our recap, which is gonna be pretty brief because motherfuckers was knocking motherfuckers out, bro. Everybody was getting cooked. I'm sorry. Like, it's just the simple facts of this fight had like, I think they had like, let's see, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fights, 11 actual fights, not including pit submission and BJJ, 11 actual fights. And it was only two. Right? Yeah, it was 10 knockouts. 10 knockouts. Yeah, KOs or TKOs. I think it was like 3 KOs and then the rest were TKOs. Because Rabella's got the KO, Jaden got the KO, which was insane. Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe they were all KOs.
Nah. It was actual KOs, like actual knockouts. It was only Enod, Despange.
Duran got a decision. I think every other fighter on the card got a knockout or a TKO.
Yeah, Alves got a decision too. I think it was. Was it? Alves got a decision against Karma. Yeah, Karma Worthy. So yeah, insane. So we're gonna go from the top to bottom. We'll come back to pit submission because I think Mal's got to go in a bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run through the main stuff, and then I'll get the pit submission. We'll let Pickers do that. That's more of his bread and butter. And so we're gonna start with an honorable mention. Shout out my motherfucking brother, Python. This is actually one of my best friends in the whole entire freaking world. This kid is like a little brother to me. And I'm not saying kid because he's like a baby. He's like my brother's age. You know what I'm saying? So he's him and my little brother are the same exact age. But somebody I came up in the content world, actually the first person I came to karate combat with. Like we came to karate combat together. And on this event, which is insane, I was on the mic doing stuff on camera, and he was fighting in the ring. Crazy spin around in a year, right? Like a year ago in December, we were in Vegas. The first time going to karate combat to this. So he got a fight with Kagi-Jan. Good fight. Both of them pretty amateur. I think this was actually his second professional fight. He fought in Yuma Fight League, Kevin Gaslam's league. And then he got the TKO victory on Kagi-Jan. Looked real good. Caught one of the legs, pushed him into that pit wall, and just ground and pounding him out on the pit wall, and got a really good dub on him in the second round too, which is crazy too. A little backstory. He was sick that entire week coming up. Like when I called him, when I got there, I'm like, where are you at? He's like, I'm in the bed. I'm like, why do you sound like that? He's like, bro, I've been in the bed for the last 4 days. And I literally told him, I was like, bro, you got to fight. You got to fight, bro. Everybody that came all his ways, all this stuff. Like, if you feel like you can do it, you got to fight, bro. Like, if you don't feel like you're going to die, just got to get in there and fight. You got 2-minute rounds. It's light work, maybe a third. You know what I mean? Just make sure you get it done in 2 and you out of there. And that's what he did. He got in there. He got it done in 2. He looked good. Utilized his Muay Thai. Used some Muay Thai defense. Grabbed the leg. Pushed him up against the wall. And I'm proud of him, man. It's my boy. Got to experience that moment with him live in real time. And that shit was cool as fuck. So shout out him, my honorable mention for today. Normally we don't cover IFC like that, but that's my boy. So I got to talk about him. Pickers, you got to commentate this fight. How did you feel about how he did?
Yeah, no, it's like we were talking about in the pre-show. I thought I wasn't too familiar with either of these guys. I know we had Paige on the stream once, so that was about as familiar as it was with him. I had not heard of Kagi-Jan leading up to that, and what I could immediately tell was, he's training at Extreme Couture. It's a great gym, and that translates to the way he fought. He was composed, collected. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Kagi-Jan came out swinging wild, throwing big haymakers, big shots, missing a lot. Paige-Jan just kept his distance, looked for his strikes. Once Kagi-Jan kind of ran out of steam and he weathered the initial storm, he had some really nice boxing exchanges. He had a nice 1-2. He looked very composed, didn't get nervous when he got hit. And like you said, most importantly, he had a great game plan. I actually remember you mentioning something about that strategy to me even before the fight. He executed it perfectly, put him in the corner, landed some big shots, and took the power away from the judges. So, big props to that guy. Happy for him. He got his first win. And I'm looking forward to seeing his next fight and his future development with Extreme Couture.
Yeah, man. I'm super proud of that dude. Yeah, we talked about it before the fight, but that's knowledge. Like, that's just really us watching KC for the last 12 months and seeing what works and what doesn't. And unfortunately, Kagi-Jan hasn't been around it like that. So he didn't have that advantage of us. Like, and I'm not saying us like I was in there game planning with him, but us as we both know, like, if you get somebody up against that pit, they're at a severe disadvantage. So, Mal, you got anything on this fight?
Yeah, so one of the things is that this is one of the ones that actually happened up on my second monitor and watching. Just for example, you take somebody that hasn't had a lot of fight experience and you tell them how you're going to fight, and top on that being sick the week before, he's walking his opponent down, and the biggest thing when fighting is not to overextend. Like you mentioned before, the haymakers, you can see that, and that just gasses you out. But his blocking, he's walking forward, he's staying calm in the pocket, and every time, you see those big wild swings, he's covering, but he's still covering distance. And that's the thing, the most terrifying thing in the world is that when you're gassed or you're throwing against an opponent and they're just slowly walking you down, it's just like the best equivalent is you got a gun and you're shooting. Bam, 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 and eventually you click, 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 and you're out of bullets. And then the finish comes just as it is. I love his hand position for an amateur. He's weathering body kicks, haymakers, moving and steadily stepping in and just delivering the finish. So hats off to him for being sick and then coming in and getting that done.
Yeah, man. He's got a little background too in boxing too. So a lot of that fundamentals has come from that. We all know if anybody's ever done boxing or train or watch anything, boxing is very fundamental. Like if you get a good coach, you're learning a lot of fundamental stuff. You ever watch Rocky in the beginning? All the stuff that he's learning, and Apollo, Creed, all of these movies you watch with boxing, even to like $1 Million Baby, right? They all learn fundamentals first, and it's really big and major. So I think that's another thing that gave him a little heads up on it. But shout out my boy Python, man. He should be fighting again soon, which is also crazy because he's like the UFC activation manager for V-Chain as well. So he's around a lot of good people too to get him set up to maybe have a little nice career just fighting IFC. So
You know, I think I wish you, and next time you talk to him, ask him, or at least he has to have been buzzing after that for getting that initial win. You know, because you say you're going to do something, you actually do it and you win.
Yeah,
I know he's just gassed the entire night.
yeah, it was two main things me and him both wanted to do. And I don't think we didn't put like a thing on it by the end of the year, but it was just like, yo, he was like, I want to fight. And I was like, bro, I want to be on the mic. You know what I mean? After the first time I came there, I was like, eventually I'm gonna be there. And I honestly didn't even ask for it. And it just showed up, but I manifested it and he manifested it. And it was just like right at the end of the year, the 12-month mark, we both knocked them things out. I was like, yeah, let's get it. So, but definitely got more to come, man. Shout out him. But we're gonna move on to the main fights of the night, the Karate Combat fights. We're gonna go through these pretty quick. But because they were pretty quick. You know what I'm saying? We'll start off with one that was pretty quick as well. Osama, somebody I feel like that's a rising talent in Karate Combat. I really like him. He's got a lot of appeal to him for Karate Combat as far as just as a fighter. He's a handsome fella. He's from the Middle East, which is a rising mecca. Well, really, he's from Africa. Morocco's Africa, right?
Yeah.
So he's from Africa, around that area, though. Same kind of culture,
There,
right?
there are parts of Africa in the Middle East. The Middle East is
Yeah.
like top of Africa, the bottom of Asia. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's coming from that background, really great fighter, and is electrifying, right? He knows how to build a fight. He talks his stuff. He could talk good English. I don't know what other languages he speaks, but I'm really high on this guy. And he's came in and he's won both of his fights. Last one he wasn't that happy about, but this one I'm pretty sure he's pretty happy about. He got in there, rocked the guy. What's your boy's take on this fight right here?
I'll jump in real quick. I got the end up here. Looks super strong in the clinch. A lot of people, when you get tied up, it's so easy to get thrown off balance, get thrown and everything. But I'm just walking. He is just controlling his opponent the entire time. He is not going to go down. And he eventually, gets the finish after he puts him on the mat and, delivers very controlled. He didn't go wild. He didn't go Donkey Kong. He delivered shots. It's like if you have someone down and you're delivering those finishing shots, right? It's easy just to go pop, 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 pop. But he's just waiting. Where's your hand not at? Bam. Where's your hand not at? Bam. You cover that, I'm going to hit there. You can't cover everything at one time. And he gets the finish. So, I mean, really clean finish on that part.
Yeah, I feel like control was a big theme in this entire card. And I think we'll like see the kind of redundantness of it, like going through it, right? A lot of people are starting to understand the pit and how to use it as control, and it's going to lead to one or two things, right? A lot of people who don't understand grappling are going to pick up the grappling, going to get pushed out, or it's going to adapt, and everybody's going to start learning, and then there's going to be a whole type of new defense that is going to come about of it, basically being pit defense, right? Because there's no other league you're going to be in that's going to have this type of defense that's going to be needed with your back being at a 45-degree angle. Pickers.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
Oh, my bad, Mal.
I was just gonna say, if you look at the last sequence right before they show, right before you raise your hands, you can see the control that he has on him. Like for example, when you're in that position, you're grasping for anything, and your opponent doesn't have a shirt on. So what you're going to grab love handles? You can't do that. You can't. And he's just pressing him. He's just framing him up, using his own biomechanics against him, putting him down. So you're right. I think that adjustment is going to happen for people that either you learn or you adapt or don't. Plain and simple.
100%. Pickers.
Yeah, so I did a lot of looking into Michel Martinez before the fight. I was already familiar with Osama Asli because, as you mentioned, he fought at KC 50, had that controversial win over Stanotnik. But so he goes by the nickname La Fiera, and he's actually an undefeated MMA prospect from Spain. And it's kind of like Mallory was saying, some of the most impressive parts of that fight to me were not necessarily the knockout. I already know Asli's capable of that. He has, I think, 19 or 9 or 10 of those in his career. I don't even remember. I think he has 20 fights and like 10 knockouts, whatever it was. But it was all the things that I would expect the MMA fighter to dominate in. All the advantages that I expected Michel Martinez to have were neutralized by Ostley. So that showed me a skill set past his the standard kickboxing skill set that I knew he had, and definitely made his stock go up for me. So I was really impressed with that performance as well.
Yeah, 100%, man. I feel like he is at the point that I feel like Arturo was at around his second fight, right? You're getting these good wins. People are starting to know your name, right? Got to keep the consistency up. He's got to come into 2025. I'm pretty sure they're going to the Middle East. We got December. I know January is Miami. February is, I want to say February or March is Eve Denver. Whichever one is in Denver, we'll be doing that. But then I think they're going over there again. So prime time for him to go over there and do some stuff in front of his people as well. And I'm excited to see it. I think honestly he is, and that build is starting to be something we see a lot. That those guys, the Middle Eastern guys with a very linky build, they have a lot of reach. You got Shazab's homeboy that fought in the last one. You got Osama. You got quite a few of them, and the thing's starting to dominate, man. And I'm loving to see it. I want to see how far he's going to be able to get with this. And to be honest, welterweight needs some good fighters. You know what I mean? We got a lot of the other fighters in there. You got Raymond Daniels and the rest of them in there. You also got Luis Melendez in that, and that would be a crazy fight. Osama versus Luis Melendez would be insane. So a lot of potential there in next year, 2025. But before we move on to the next fight real quick, always got to pay tribute to our sponsors, because the sponsors are the one that make sure these things keep going. And what better than to talk about the people we're talking about absolutely right now. And I don't like how it covers my face, but forget it. This is more important than me right now, because if you scan that QR code, man, you can download the Karate Combat app now. Download the app now. You get 88 free tokens now in this Karate Combat app. You can live stream the fights. You can also vote on your favorite fighters to see who's going to win. And when you win, you win. And when you lose absolutely nothing, because we're only up gaming. You don't lose anything, all right? It's not gambling. It's just voting. And also those tokens are your key into the DAO. You get to help make all major decisions that Karate Combat allows us access to. And also, if you're sticking around and you download that, make sure you go to the redeem section, because if you look at the bottom of your screen, you can use code and new K-Sensitive24. Shout out to Arturo Vergara, the brand new bantamweight champion. That code is a tribute to him and his win. So right now, redeem this code in your Karate Combat app. Just download the Karate Combat app right there, and you will receive, I don't know how much, man. I don't know. It varies from week to week, man. They hook us up. It might be nice this week. You know, Santa just left. You know, right. You might holiday time. Who knows, man? But I'm gonna leave that up for a little bit. Shout out Macaco Flow and shout out Karate Combat for always hooking us up. We'll talk about our other sponsor in a bit, but we're gonna move on to the next one. Another person I feel like is kind of a rising star. I think he had a rough start, and then from there he's been kind of killing it, man. Gorjan, my boy Gogo, going up against Noah Cutter, which I thought was gonna be a really good fight, but Gogo just came in there, man, and got a quick KO, man. Gogo didn't play any games, man. I think Goshe all had a mission that night to get really quick knockouts, and they really got it done. To be honest, we were on kind of on the time constraint for the fights, so all of these knockouts were actually lovely. Like, it made a lot of the staff and everybody feel a lot more at ease of how quick the fight was moving. So we had to get through a certain amount of fights before the pit submission at a certain time. So that was beautiful. But Gogo coming again, another win, another person in that welterweight category. We're seeing a lot of them start to build their records up. He's definitely another one that I would like to see. I mean, him versus Osama will also be an insane fight. Him versus Luis Melendez. There's quite a few others in there. But second win, TKO. Where do we see it going from here? And how do you feel about his fight, guys? Anybody could take the floor.
I think Gorhan, I think I was saying it the week before the fight, like Gorhan was my most confident pick. He's a 6-0 BKFC champion. Noah Cutter has a very deeply negative record. This just seemed like a massive mismatch to me, honestly. I don't think those two guys belonged in the pit together, and I think Gorhan proved that.
Yeah. I don't remember what his betting odds were, but I know he was a heavy favorite on that one for sure. It was what?
Many thousands.
Yeah, many thousands.
He was like
Mal,
almost 90% on the app. Also,
insane. He's another one becoming a fan favorite. Mal, what's your take on this fight?
Man, beast mode on from the start. The great thing about this is that, like, literally as we're talking, I'm looking at this as real in real time. He hit his opponent with a body, cut with a body shot in the first 30 seconds, and you could tell Carter was like, "I do not like this," which made him back up to the pit wall, which made Yoga say, "Okay, you know what? Forward, here we go." Right here, slams up against the pit wall, delivers some justice. He tries to go for the takedown, and he's just feeding him more punches than a soup kitchen at Thanksgiving time. Just absolutely just smashing him. And I wanted to know what he said to him after he made the money symbol, but
Yeah.
he said something which I couldn't quite make out. I'm really curious to what he said right after that. We also saw a nice upkick from Cutter during the match. They could have turned the tide.
Yeah, he
but-
caught him once. He
Oh, he
caught him
did.
once. That could have been devastating. I peeped that too. His head went back a little bit. He definitely connected pretty clean there. I don't know too. Honestly, usually I could tell when it's like beef going on between the fighters coming in the same hotel. But for some reason I was in the overflow hotel not far. I was like a few blocks down the street. So I wasn't around them like I normally am.
Mhm.
And I didn't know, but I peeped that too. Once he said it, like he kind of went to his corner, kind of did a thing. I was like, oh man, last time this happened in Florida, somebody got choked the fuck out.
Oh,
You know what
boy.
I'm saying? So I was like, hold on. We don't need nobody going to nobody corners going crazy right now. So
And
also,
I was gonna say, just a little curtain behind the curtain for you. Just know when you go to a Karate Combat event, all the fighters are in a fighter's hotel, so it's pretty casual. So you're used to seeing things like somebody breaks news on Twitter about, hey, this fighter and this fighter came. They got in the same elevator together. They were getting their glove fit at the UFC. They were signing posters, and they were in the same room. And it's always because you think about it, camera crews following this guy, camera crews following this guy. This guy's boy's got his camera rolling. This guy's boy got his camera rolling. And if something comes up, you get footage of it. That's super common in Karate Combat because everybody is around everyone. So if there is beef, you do know about it because you see it passing, you see it eating, you see it pre-workout, press conference. These guys are going to encounter each other. It's not like they have these fighters away. So if there's beef, you're going to detect it right away during that week or the 3 days that you're there before the event.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. It definitely gets hectic at times, especially when stuff like when like Shazab and them, like Shazab is really aggressive with a lot of his opponents and gets to pushing them and stuff like that. So like that tension from that day until a fight is sometimes real palpable in actual hotels and stuff like that. But speaking of palpable energy, if you know anything about karate, man, this man's energy is palpable whenever he talks about it in any other combat sport. Very knowledgeable. My guy, one of our co-hosts, my main man, Matt Tyson. What's good, baby? How you feeling?
Good.
You got the Santa Claus beard going on
There
right
you go.
now, man.
how do I do that?
Yeah, coming in strong right now.
It keeps the face warm during the winter.
Nah, you are up in a cold ass spot, so I
Yeah.
respect it. I respect it, man. You come in here perfect time because this is probably one of the longest fights of the night. So I guess we could talk about this one for a little bit. And also, I was a little, I don't want to say upset. This fight didn't go quite the way I expected it to. And not in the fact of Saba losing, but in the fact of the skill gap that it looked like in between, right? Jade was on fire. Per usual, right? Jade is, like we said, both of them were amazing fighters. I forgot who had what picks, who we said when we did do it, but no, we actually didn't. We didn't do our picks this time. So, but I know we had talked all separately, like in our group chats and stuff, about how we felt about this fight, and it was very interesting how controlled Jade was in this fight. Very, very good at using range and keeping Saba away, and I feel like that's where Saba kind of lost it at, was she couldn't get inside on her, and Jade was just punches and bunches. Well, my coach used to always tell me, punches and bunches. That's what we want. Combos. You want to land volume. That's how you get points, right? You can't just you could get points just sitting there jabbing stuff like that, but you also not putting no wear and tear on your opponent. So all around the board, technically, like, and I talked to her and her and her I don't know if they're married, fiance's, boyfriend, whatever, but Albert Montez from Alberto Montez from the UFC, Mills, like her skill, like it's so like the fundamentals, like we talked about earlier, so fundamentally sound, like just so fundamentally sound. Everything's crisp, everything looks smooth. And the one thing I did notice, and I don't know how much of an effect it had on this fight, but Saba was very light on her feet, right? Like kind of like on the back of the ball of her foot to the front of her. If you're looking at him out right now, you can kind of see like, right? She's very light on her feet. And if you look at Jade is like, it's like she's planted into the pit.
Exactly.
Like her feet are so and her stance was so strong. And whenever she would step in and hit combos or anything, jabs, crosses, whatever on Saba, it would knock Saba off balance. And I think that's what kind of led to a lot of it was Saba couldn't really stand her ground with her stance and the way that she was moving. And I feel like the times where she did have the most success was when she was using her kicks, like when Saba was using kicks, right? Because that was the only way I really felt like she could close that distance and that void, because Jade was using that distance, that void so well. She was just right outside of the pocket enough to where she could step back just a little bit without exerting too much energy and step out of the way of Saba's punches. And that's kind of how like she dominated it. Now, do I feel like Saba's stock went down? Fuck no. I feel like Jade had a really good night and Saba had a learning lesson on how she has to move forward in this division and the type of striking that she has to start doing or adapt to in this, because at the end of the day, both of these girls are great fighters. One, Saba stood in there and banged the entire time. She didn't back up. You didn't see her start to cower at all. She stood in there. I had a long conversation with her husband too, like the day after, and she's not low spirits. Like she's definitely ready to get back in there. So yeah. I'm super high on Saba. I'm super high on both of them. I love both of them. They're both great fighters, like amazing fighters. And this fight had to happen. At the end of the day, there's number one and number two. We got to figure out who's going to go up and get the belt. So it had to happen. And Jay to go up and get the belt. And if Saba can get a win or two, then she can go up there and get her rematch for maybe a title shot, and that would be a fire fight. I would love to see that. Round two, Saba try to get her back, and it could be for a belt on the line. That's kind of my takeaway from this fight. Jay had a really good night. Saba has some digging in the bag to get into. I'm pretty sure James Vick seen some things in there that he's going to help her with in the gym out there in Texas, and they'll get back to it. But anybody, take it away.
No,
How we feeling?
You just jumped in good.
I think you hit a lot of the great points there. Is that you're either winning or you're learning, and this was a very big learning moment for Saba. The key thing was there was a huge experience gap in this fight, and the fact that Saba didn't get finished in this fight speaks volumes to her talent.
100%.
And she also kind of exposed one gap that Jade, if she fights now the champion, Stephanie Oliveira, is that karate blitz, because that was one of the best punches Saba was hitting Jade all night. And if Stephanie Oliveira hits her with that, she's going to be hitting her with that much more and using those to actually set up things. So that's something that she has to now go to the lab and work on. Something also that like Shazay Bryn needs to work on too. So it's something the Goat Shed people seem to be struggling with, is those karate blitz fighters.
Yeah. I think Boss was mentioning that as one of them. Boss or GSP was mentioning that as well on it. Like she's got to get on the blitz, stuff like that. And that's also too a way she could have stood her ground. Like I said, moving forward with just a strong blitz. But also Jay she was just, bro. She was doing it in a Sean Strickland march. That's what I call it, where she's just moving forward and she's just stepping up, like she's trying to check, but fainting. She was like, everything she was doing was just amazing. And at the point, like I know Saba, and I can tell the type of fighter and person she is. She's gonna watch that. She's gonna learn. She's gonna adapt.
The game plan I would try to work on to beat Jade would be the Gaia usual game plan. You're either blitzing or you're using the blitz to set up fighting in the pocket or throwing them to the ground and getting.
Yeah. 100% agree. 100% agree. She needed to close the distance.
Jade is all about forward pressure, and you need to disrupt that forward pressure.
Yeah. Pickers.
Good picture.
I really liked one point that Mac made there. He said that Saba showed us a lot by not getting finished, and I could not agree more. I went into this fight expecting Jade Duran to be the more skilled, more well-polished fighter. She's been working with people on a very high level and competing with people on a very high level for a very long time. She's very good people around her. I know she does consultations with Dean Thomas as well, who I think is one of the best trainers in MMA. We interviewed Saba Navadinejad. She's not even a full-time fighter. You know, she runs her business every day. She trains whenever she can. I think she showed that she has grit, that she has heart, that she has raw athleticism. And I think that she shows that she's a talent worth developing and worth putting resources into. So I think although Jade Durant did win the fight, I think both fighters' stocks go up from this performance.
100%. Mal, my bad.
Oh,
I forgot you passed it to Mac when I spit it the pickers. But
Sorry,
go ahead,
you off, my bad.
end it out. No, that was me.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible traffic director. I'm crashing cars and airplanes and all types of shit. All right, Mal, hit him off, baby.
So especially from watching this, if you look, Jade is very front leg heavy, and like you said, for me that says this person's going to punch me. They're going to punch me. They're going to punch me, and that's what she's doing. She's bringing that forward pressure. So what Saba's doing, she's looking great because she is not shying away from being in the pocket. In fact, she's trying to land that shot after she kind of figures out or sees what Jade's going to do. And a couple times she's been doing that from what I've been watching right here, but that front heavy pressure, like you said, Jade's, she's not leading with any kicks. And when Saba did get some of those kicks going, it opened up a point until Jade reset and went back to her game plan. So yeah, very forward heavy, forward march. And I saw that part where you're just going through like, what am I throwing? Am I throwing? What's going here? To get you to, get you confused. A lot of, Sean Strickland vibes there, like you mentioned. Yeah. So, but I think I agree with you. Stock doesn't go down for both of these ladies, especially Jade and Saba. Saba's going to get some training, and it's tough. You work in a full-time job, and then you're trying to find time to train and learn and everything else. It is completely tough. But like you said, the desire, the grit, everything is there. Yeah. And you can't manufacture that. It has to be in you. It has to be something that you got to bring to the table that says, yes, I just worked 8, 10, whatever hours. I got all the other stuff done I needed to today, and I want to go train. And she has that. So we will see her again, and we're going to see new improve. Upgrade for her in 25. I believe that.
Yeah, I talked to her for what in this office to what you're saying with the grit is. I talked to her afterwards. I was saying with her husband, and she was mentioning like, and back where I'm from, like this wouldn't even be possible. Like
exactly
certain things that I'm doing now, just like even having this conversation with you, just the way I am. Certain things would have happened. I had to get through all of that to get through here. So it just shows how tough a person she is. Like you said, right. And it's built off of all of this character building that she's had outside of the ring and inside of the pit ring, wherever she's been. And like we said, she's gonna grow. She's gonna learn from there. She's gonna grow. So shout out to Saba, shout out to Jay, both great fighters. In my opinion, probably fight of the night because it was the only one that lasted long enough to call a fight of the night. Right. So maybe that and Alves. Alves, I think that was just the best move of the fucking night. We'll get to that later. But
Cosmo and Igor was the only other fight that lasted full.
That's true.
Which one?
Cosmo and Igor.
Oh yeah. Their fight did too.
When did Varga get the finish? Wasn't that in the third round?
Yes. TK on the third round.
Right.
Yeah, because he couldn't get up again. Mal, do you got to spin?
Yeah, this is my exit. I had a pre-planned lunch, so I wanted to wish you guys a happy new year and everything. In fact, I know we'll be talking, but definitely looking forward to 2025. Thanks, guys.
Hey, and shout out your Commanders for whipping on the Eagles for us. Thank you.
Oh,
the NFC East thanks you.
Oh, you didn't get the memo? We're all wearing red today.
Hey, listen, man. Look, I'm wearing black because my team is a funeral, man. Unless we get Shador Sanders. Listen, it is what it is, man. I appreciate you, Mal, man. Shout out my boy Mallory Woods. Make sure you follow him on Twitter, Instagram, everything. Mallory Woods. He is the man. I appreciate you and your time, brother. We'll catch you next week. Yes, sir. All right, that's my man Mal. But all right, so let's get back to it. So speaking of people growing, man, I feel like this man is growing, and he better grow up off of these damn prelim fights. Prez, Leo, I'm talking to y'all right now. I better not see my man Locks be on the prelims no more because he is no longer the couch potato, and he is no longer not as known as the rest of the fighters because this man has been on a streak of KOs, TKOs, doing this thing. Hit Buddy with a crazy one to the liver, man. Insane. Another thing, Goat said, it was like 2 things they were really heavy on, except for Jade. And that was another thing I meant to say earlier, too, is not that she's the best at grappling, but she does know how to utilize grappling and didn't. She just stood and banged the whole time with her. And I feel like she could have utilized the grappling against Saba and maybe had an advantage there, but she just stuck to her striking, which was really cool to me. But another thing was Loxby, and when we get to it later with the main event, was them boys was using a lot of knees and utilizing knees in very crucial points. And Loxby was able to just catch an early knee to the liver on what's this guy named Israel Gonzalez, and just put him out. Like, he couldn't move, he couldn't do anything, and then he just continued with the ground and pound. And the ref noticed what was going on and stopped the fight. And we got another TKO victory for Loxby. I think that's 3 in a row. I think is his first one a TKO as well?
No, unanimous decision.
Unanimous decision. So he's got 1 UD and 3 TKOs in a row. Loxby is the leading Puerto Rican fighter right now in karate combat doing this thing.
That's just because Melendez hasn't had the same output, though.
I mean, yeah, that's why I said right now he is. You know what I'm saying? Now, all of that could change. And also, they're in 2 different weight classes, which is perfect for me because they'll never have to fight each other. So, right? Another thing we got to talk about, too, before we end this one is some crazy shit. But Loxby, shout out Loxby. Good W. Another statement win, I feel like. Got it done early. Got it finished quickly.
Not much to break down there.
Yeah, not much to break down here at all. Only thing I want to say is, do y'all agree with me as he should not be on prelims anymore?
I think if he fights higher level competition, he shouldn't.
Yeah,
but if he keeps.
But at this point, don't we start pitting him against higher level
fighting
competition?
a fighter like Israel Gonzalez, I think keep him on the prelims. Yeah. But if he fights someone up in the rankings, if he fights someone
Perez
with more experience, a bigger name, then yeah, he does.
Jesus?
Yeah. If he fights a Jesus Lopez, if he fights a
Jesus Lopez, Adam Noy. I think Lopez should be next.
And honestly, if he is a couch potato, as Osmo always says, his career needs someone of that high level.
No, 100%. But the couch potato was more of him getting out of shape out of camps, right? Him getting out of shape and then being able to snap back in shape.
We need someone to challenge him at this
point.
point.
I agree. I feel like he should fight Jesus. I feel like him and Lopez should go at it. I feel like after that, it should be Noy. Or you could go
that would
Lopez.
That would be rough, though. Jesus Lopez versus Loxby, because that's a title fight, a title contender match.
I mean, who else is he got to fight in the bantamweight? I mean, who else? Who's in the top right now? The top right now is what?
He fought.
It was Noy,
basically a teammate, and now he would, if Loxby won that, he would
have to fight Arturo. And I'm gonna tell you about that. I talked to both of them, and I'm telling you right now, if it comes to it, it might just happen, and that's coming from both the horses' mouths. It might just happen. So it's not out of the question. Now, if the timelines match up and if Arturo holds it long enough for Lox to get in there and all that, who knows? But it could possibly happen.
But why do you think that, like, versus Arturo, Loxby hasn't been getting that same level of shine that, like, despite finishing his opponents? Do you think it's just the fact that he's doing it more from ground and pound and not, like, knocking him out clean?
Nah, because Arturo's on social media all the time. Arturo's posting funny shit. Arturo's posting him and his swag and all that stuff. I follow both of them. Loxby is more of a family man. Arturo's, like, I don't know if he's single or not, but he's living a Miami life. You know what I mean? He's out there. His family's not really there, so he's able to move around like he wants to, right? It might change because his pockets might change now. He should be able to get his family and get everything back together, get all of his citizenship situation worked out. So all that might change for him, but I think that's the main reason why. And Arturo's smart. He's tapping into the crypto communities, the tech communities, all of the people that's on Twitter. Like, he's one of the smartest ones. And I tell all of them the same thing. He's one of the only ones who really stepped out there and was like, nah, I want to be a part of this. He tagging people that he need to tag. He doing all the things he need to do. So I think that's what Lox need to do. And I told Lox that too. I'm like, bro, you just got to get on here and start talking to these people, getting on socials, because you're already putting in the work as a fighter. So you're memorable there, right? And then you give people other shit to connect to. Like everybody gonna connect. Arturo's a pothead. Everybody love potheads. For the most part, most people smoke. So that's one thing that connect with him too. He funny as shit too. He like to make funny stuff. He talk his shit. He back it up, right? So these are things that people start connected to, and I think that's how Arturo has started getting his rise to fame too. And he's very animated when he wins. He's animated when he wins. He's always doing the Dragon Ball Z shit. So he's connecting to the fighters on that anime level. Majority of the martial artists, we like anime because most anime has martial arts in it, right? So I think Arturo is just hitting all of those levels. Loxby is working on doing those things. Like I talked to him after this one, like, bro, yeah, you really need to, like, you really could tap into this because people are starting to know who you are, and it's no reason not to capitalize off of it. Like, if you don't gotta go work a 9 to 5 and you could just do this, I think you would do this. And so I think that's gonna change soon, especially when you see all of the people at Go Shed. Like, it's a trend of them, like, all trying to really get on this other side. Like, they do really well on Instagram. Don't get it twisted. Like, and you're on the Instagram side too, Mac. You see it. Go Shed and them, they do amazing on Instagram. It's Twitter where it's at, and especially with Karate Combat and MMA, a lot of stuff is going on Twitter that people aren't seeing. Like, it's a lot of the main voices for MMA are on Twitter talking their shit. So that's where Loxby got to be, and I think once he does that, he'll be set. But also, I think he deserves some contender fight. He deserves somebody in the top rankings now. He's put in his work. All right, you could say the people he hasn't fought is nobody. They said the same thing about Shazam, and then they gave him Bruno. So let's do the same thing. Give Loxby somebody. He's put in his work. He's fought all the guys that are so-called not the best, right? Or whatever you want to call them, right? Now let's give him somebody that's worth something, right? I think the Adam Noy fight should wait. I honestly think Lopez should be the next one. And because unless you would say Lopez and Chelmia, but I don't know. Let's get to that one. Any other things about this one?
Lopez and Chelmia has to happen at one point. But
I know it does. But it's tough, bro. Because I honestly,
I'd rather have Owen get like a tune-up fight.
I agree with that too, but I also want to see.
But that's also not how Owen works. Owen wants the best of the best.
Exactly.
But I will say one thing. I think the other issue for Loxby with this card was the fact that he got the finish, but then the rest of the card was the rest of the card, so it was hard to stand out. And that's leading into this next fight, where the guy gets on the mic and says he wants $100,000 for this great knockout, then the rest of the card happens, and he looks like it looks ridiculous to ask for that when there are other knockouts more deserving.
Yeah, nah, agreed. And if we want to, do you have anything to say? Because I do got some shit to say to that shit.
Oh, you covered Loxby. I have plenty to say on Jaden Adenod, though. I actually had him in the booth and had him sit down and ask him a couple questions. First of all, I think I do agree, $100,000. Even if nobody else on the card got a knockout, $100,000 is a little bit nuts for Jaden Adenod. I mean, he's a WBC cruiserweight world champion, but I don't even know if there's been a point in his life where he's been able to fight full time and earn a living. One of my favorite Jaden Adenod moments, other than the knockout, I had him in the booth. He was on a Australian reality show called
Marriage at First Sight.
Marriage at First Sight. I was about to say Love at First Sight. I knew that wasn't it.
Yeah.
And he had told me that walking down the aisle was more scary to him than walking into the octagon. So,
well, I suppose he walked down the aisle to a complete stranger that he absolutely knew nothing about, who could have been a serial killer. So
might have also had. Well, my take on it was it might have had something to do with the fact that he's walked into the octagon or walked into the pit or walked into the ring so many times in his career. This guy's a 3-time world champion, cruiserweight WBC champion. So aside from the ridiculous call out, I really enjoyed his performance. I thought it was a back and forth war up until he started, pulling ahead. And I mean, we didn't know what was coming the rest of the night. It was definitely the best knockout of the night when it happened. Absolutely brutal hook shot. And that was one of the ones that wasn't a TKO. That was the guy got knocked up.
Yeah, that was a KO. That was clean, flat line. I mean, straight back, Frankenstein hands, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, he got carried out on a stretcher. That wasn't a TKO.
Yeah,
that was out.
But I tell you this, Yeah, I'll tell you this. WCB, BWC, whatever champion you are, bro. Your first fight coming in asking for 100 grand. And then on top of that, on top of asking for 100 grand, you don't even know who the fuck you was talking about. He called Awesome the president. He said the co-founder, he said founder, CEO, and some other shit. 3 titles that wasn't Prez is none of, right?
Mhm.
And then ask for 100K. Like, at least if you're gonna ask the president of the league for 100K, at least know he's the president of the league. Like that's it. That's like, but to my opinion, no, it is. I don't
And he
think.
compared it to one championship. One
Yeah, and then
championship,
yeah,
they give $100,000. They give
Yeah,
100,000 baht.
Yeah,
Thai
they give-
baht.
that's not
They
even
get
close. Like, what is
big
the
sometimes.
conversion on that? How much
I'm guessing
is?
it's like 10 grand. I have a feeling.
Watch this. Yeah. Watch this. 100,000 baht in USD. Let's see. All right, 28K. So I mean, that is kind of a reasonable performance bonus if you're in that that 10 to 12 to
I
show and the
But
performance bonus
still,
range.
but still less than
I think it's
UFC
2,900 by the way.
Yeah.
So he was only about 98K off.
Yeah, 98K off. Yeah. So first off, let's learn the conversion between what Chantry is giving in US dollars. Second off, let's learn who the actual president is and what his job title is, right? And actually don't piss off the actual owners and CEOs of the fucking company, right? And ask for money when they're the ones who got to sign off for it, right? So that's the only thing. I'm like, bro, like, get your foot in the door first, gang. You ain't even get one fight in.
And then
I know it was good, but you did get knocked on your
entire win to
first
Muay
round,
Thai
too.
in a karate fight.
He got knocked on his ass in like the first minute. Let's not forget that part. And he asked for 100K. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and he was gassed. He was gassed doing the interview. Get him over here. So I'm like, bro, let's slow down, right? Great performance. Awesome. Amazing fucking knockout. Let's wait till the second fight to ask for shit like that. Let's just wait till the second fight. That's it.
Third, fourth.
Like, yeah, third, fourth. And don't compare it to Chatri. Like, it's like he tried to like debate him into doing it. Like, well, he's doing it and you talk shit about him. So now you got to do it. Like, come on, bro. That ain't the way you want to come into the company. I'm just saying, well, it is what it is, man. Great fucking knockout, though. Holy shit. And Ramos on the other end, I think that might have been his last fight.
Yeah, I feel bad for Ramos. I feel bad for Ramos. He's
doing pretty good, too.
He's one of those
comparable
guys that transitions well to full contact. The issue is he hasn't had fights to really develop himself.
Yeah.
His first fight was a close fight, and he did well in. But then he had to fight Sam Alvey, and now he had to fight Jaden Elon. And he doesn't even want to fight at heavyweight anymore. He wants to go down to middleweight, but I don't think he'll even have the chance to try himself at middleweight.
I mean, I would at least if I was the matchmakers or Perez, like I would at least give him a chance at middleweight. We have seen people change weight classes and it'd be a drastic change. Because like if you could make the weight and you're substantially bigger than the other guys, and it's a good advantage for you, right? But if you're trying to make the weight and you're killing yourself like a Joaquin Buckley to the point where it was just like it wasn't working out for him, he was depleted of energy in some of these fights, which led to him getting KO'd and other shit. And then you see him move up and he's able to gain all his weight and keep all of his natural weight.
You got that one backwards.
Is it the other way around?
Yeah, he went from 185 to 170.
You're right.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Facts. So same shit, right? I was actually on point with what I was saying, right? I fucked myself up.
You were good, right?
Thank you, Pickers.
Sorry.
Yeah. I know it's okay. I've been up since like 3 a.m. I'm not all the way there. I'm drinking my third cup of coffee. At the caffeine and a whole bunch of shit going on in my brain. All right, but yeah, man, we've seen a drastic change in it. So I will hope they will give him a chance at it. See what happens. I mean, it's middleweights. It's not a lot of middleweights right now anyway. So you need people to fight. And if you're bringing new guys in, I mean, see what they can do. Either he can keep the new guys out, or he can keep the new guys out and keep himself in, or he can let the new guys show who's going to be the next up. So simple as that, man. Hope the best.
Do you want to see? Do you think Jaden Enod will be back though because of all the controversy.
Yeah, I think he might be back. He might be a little upset. He's not gonna get that 100K, but I mean, it wasn't gonna happen. It
Give
wasn't
him
gonna
100,000 baht and call it a
No.
day.
Yeah, give him 100,000 baht. We give him 100,000 karate tokens. That's what you're gonna get.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Boom. Bada bing, bada bam. It's about a smooth.
He never specified
$100,000
USD. He never specified 100,000 USD.
Yeah, exactly. We just give him 100,000 XRP. Actually, that's a lot. As a matter of fact, I'll take that back. That's a lot. XRP's booming now.
I was gonna say
Give
that's
him
like
100,000 in a
Right.
meme. Give him 100,000 in meme coin.
Yeah, I mean, we'll give you 100,000 something.
Hawk coin.
Yeah, Haktua coin. Exactly. That bitch at 0. Anyways, but yeah, man. No, of all in all, minus that, right? Great addition, great debut, great KO. Questionable post speech.
Questionable
Yeah.
non-fight IQ.
Yo, the funny part too is he had like Dean. He asked Dean to do some shit. Dean was like, I ain't doing that shit. I was like, yo, I fucking love Dean. And he was like, hey, Prez, if you don't get your old ass over here. I said, yo, Dean is fucking hilarious, bro. And if y'all peep too, I don't know if y'all look, if you look at his socks had like Jillian, it had all of the girls that he trained on his socks. So all of the UFC, all of the girls he trains that's in the UFC, Jillian, all of them, it had all of them on the socks, all of their faces. So if y'all go back and look, that's a little Easter egg. That shit was funny. I was like, is that Jillian on your socks? He's like, yeah, they gave me these socks, man. I figured I'd wear them today. I was like, that's dope. But let's talk about this rematch, man. Rematch from my eye poke. It was crazy. Gabriel Varga and Andres Madera, which I poke on the last one, and both of these motherfuckers' eyes was busted open after this one. So it was crazy, bro. These dudes love to make each other bleed. Madera was not able to get the W in this one. He got hurt real early, and I want to talk about that because it was due to some illegal shit.
Oh, the ref thing.
Yeah, the ref did not catch it.
Atrocious.
Yeah, the ref for that fight was crazy. And Josh, shout out my boy Josh Palmer. Josh was like, fuck that. What the fuck? Like, that is illegal. This is illegal. Guys, we're committing crimes here. This is illegal because he had both of his fucking knees down when he was landing the elbows, which led to Madera getting opened up, which led to him losing a lot of blood, which also leads to you being lightheaded, which leads to a lot of damage and a lot of shit going not your way in a fight because you're fighting on the back end of trying to keep yourself from getting more opened up, right? And mitigate the blood that's already on your face. So that changed the trajectory of that fight a lot. So, and I've seen that judge before. That's not the first time they were karate combat at all, which was very confusing to me. But what I do want to count it to, I do want to say, I don't want to count it to, I want to say this could possibly be a thing. I was looking at it. He was at a weird angle to where he probably couldn't see the other knee was down, right? But it did look like he had like a full guard on him. So I'm like, bro, like you gotta look around. You see Herb in them, yo, you'll see Mark Goddard and the motherfuckers be like this sometimes. Like, oh, motherfucker look like Lil Kim dancing in the fucking video, trying to see. Yeah.
No, the
trying
issue,
to see what's going
the
on.
issue was the ref was reffing this like it was an MMA fight.
Facts.
Like,
But I think he tapped. I think he caught on like midway through the second round.
Yeah, I posted a video on one of the takedowns that Madera got in the first round. He grabbed the gi pants to get the takedown. That's legal. In MMA, that's illegal. In karate combat, you're allowed to grab the uniform as long as you immediately execute a legal technique afterwards. And he was getting off good ground and pound almost immediately. That was also a potential fight changer because even Varga, when he covered this fight, said, I'm not covering the first round because I got beat up in that round.
Yeah. I mean, it's real. Like but he came back. He got it. He got it in. He's a tough cookie. Both of them are, though, to be honest. But Madera had a moment. Honestly, the fight should have got stopped before that. The first time he didn't get up, and the ref seen that, he should have stopped it. He stopped it the second time when he didn't get up. But the first time he didn't get up, he should have stopped it there. Like you took way too long to get up. Yeah. You took way too long to get up. Yeah, he was talking to his corner. It was a whole bunch of stuff. So I was like, the ref should have stopped it there. That was a very questionable reffing on that one. But hey, listen, sometimes we get good ones, sometimes we get bad ones. Sometimes refs see stuff. And also, we got to remember too, we're the chess player looking down on the chessboard and two other people playing, right? We're going to see things they're not going to see. They're going to see things we're not going to see. And it is what it is. Now, to be honest, it wasn't a bad stoppage. I just feel like it was a few points in there where stuff was like no, and it was like no, yes. It was like yes, it was like no, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's unfortunate because this was a great win for Varga, but now there's again asterisks to the fight.
yeah, 100%.
But I will say though, like I even voted for Varga in this fight. I know a lot of people were on Madeira for this fight because of the performance of the first fight, but a lot of people forget that Varga's a slow starter. He turns it on as the fight goes on.
Yeah, 100%.
And also, Varga is very meticulous with his training. If he has a bad showing in one fight, he is studying that. He is going back to the lab and he is improving. And which we saw him adapt. When it comes to kickboxers in karate combat, he has really adopted the karate combat style and not just been like, I'm just going to be a kickboxer in karate combat.
Yeah.
And we even saw now a new position against the pit wall where he got the finish, where he's balancing his opponent and preventing them from sliding down using his knee as they're like perpendicular, and he's hitting the elbows. That's something that fighters need to build a pit wall and experiment on defending, because if they get into that position and they've never been there before, you're not getting out of that.
Yeah.
You need to be working to figure out if there's a way to get around that. And if there isn't, how do you avoid that position altogether?
Yeah. 100%, man. Well, I definitely want to see what Varga's going to do from there. Lightweight, there's a few guys in that division too. We'll see how that shapes up coming 2025. But the next fight, I mean, it ain't really much to talk about here. The man threw 2 freaking punches. It's typical rebellious shit. Like we said, him coming over here.
Fun.
Yeah, it was 2. They threw a kick and a punch. You're right. 2 strikes. 2 strikes.
Yep.
I will say, though, that's hilarious that the fastest knockout in karate combat history now is a Taekwondo Olympian via punch.
Insane. I mean, but the setup was with the kick.
Yeah.
So technically, kind of threw the jab out there and bam, his ass.
I thought he
But
smothered.
holy shit, huh?
I thought he smothered the kick.
Oh, for sure. That shit, bro. Listen, I'll tell you this. Rebellis is right at home. That's all I'm gonna say. He's right at home. It's exactly where it needs to be. And they're just gonna have to find them people that's gonna be willing to fight this man. And I'll tell you another thing, another shout out, honorable mention to my boy Josh Palmer for like literally calling like 3 of these shits where he's like, I think it was this fight and the next fight, this and Alves. He goes, don't blink. Anything could boom, and motherfucker Rebellis knocked him out. I said, this Josh is too good, bro. Alves fight. Nobody wants to fight him. Capoeira kick. Boom, right to the face. Holy shit. Like, that man was on point with everything he said, and it literally like 3 or 4 times throughout the fight, if you listen to the commentary, he calls it right before shit happens both times. But shout out Dominic for getting in there. He got caught really hard in the first one. I think the ref heard it. I think the ref heard that brain rattle a little bit, and the ref was like, nah, bro, you don't want to do this. I don't think you want to get hit anymore.
He was laid out cold. That was also not a TKO.
Yeah.
That was one of the knockouts. They brought in the stretcher for that one, but then he thankfully
walked out, yeah,
on his own feet and walked out. But he was like a board, man. He was stiff.
Yeah, 100%. And yo, shout out Fubar too for saying y'all, if y'all didn't know, man, check it out in the comments. And the new 24 for 2,400 karate. Shout out Santa dropping off the karate for y'all until midnight tonight. So if you check out the episode, if you check out the episode later on, you got till midnight. If it is not midnight, I think Eastern time, because me and Fubar live on Eastern time frame. Yeah. So make sure that. But shout out Rebellis. Amazing debut. Can't wait to see who he fights next. We're gonna have to we gotta go and search in the mountains for the Giants to fight this motherfucker. We'll have to go find one of those huge 7-foot Shaolin monks or something. I don't know where we gonna find people to fight this giant.
He called out Sam Alvey right after the fight.
Dude, so remember what Sam said. Sam said he will fight him. I know Sam will fight him. Sam's not gonna turn down shit, but the thing is, do you think Sam's stepping up for a super heavyweight fight, or does he come down and does he come down and fight light heavyweight?
Oh, there's zero chance. There's zero chance Robellis comes down. It would be physically impossible. There's zero chance.
He probably needs to be on the Brock Lesnar weight cut. which
Yeah,
caused
facts.
diverticulosis.
Yeah, 100%.
The only way
but look,
Morales is making 205 is he starts chopping off limbs.
100%. Well, listen. Well, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen on that one. We'll see. Maybe we'll get Sam Alvey on, see how he feels about Rebellis after seeing him fight real quick. I mean, actually, really quick. But we got to get through this. I know we got a hard stop at 115 for my boy MMA Pickers. So I want to get through these last 3 fights. We already kind of talked about Alves a little bit. Alves came in, did what he always does, right? Very flashy, very kick. He's been trying to get that kick off for like the last 4 fights, and he landed it, and it was absolutely insane because I turned around right at the right time and seen that man drop to the ground, and I almost lost my mind that he finally got that kickoff. Another one, went the distance with the guy, did his thing, dominated majority of the fight. But shout out to Kamaworthy because he did have a really good fight as well. I don't. Yeah, very durable. I don't feel like stock dropped at all. Alves is a freaking beast. For you to even step in the ring with him says a lot about you. And the way he handled himself, kept his composure. He didn't look like he was at a loss for anything at any point in time. He just wasn't the better man that night. So shout out Alves. Always entertaining, super entertaining. You gotta give this man a title shot too, man. He deserves it. It looks jacked, super jacked, and he's so fun. He's so hilarious. He just walks up on people, just like acts like he's shooting for a double leg on you, single leg on you. Like he's just random. I love him. Amazing. Yeah, get this guy a title shot soon. I think maybe he'd do one more contender fight and get up in there, and because he's been killing it lately. Any quick comments on this one, guys?
No, just I would. What I'd like to see is Rafael. I don't know why they haven't made this fight this year, but I think the move. Maybe they're waiting for Alves because they want to give Alves the title shot. But like, what I would want is Rafael Agaev to fight Vasily Antiki so he can get back in there and not have ring rust. And then have Alves fight one more contender and then have the 2 meet.
I can agree with that. I like that. Start off 2025 with that. I would say February or
They're
March.
on the same card.
Yeah, February or March. Yeah, exactly. Have them right under each other too. Let them fight back to back. See each other right after the ring. I would love to see it.
I'd like a little more time for this next fight because even though Igor lost the fight, he won the war with this performance because he increased a lot. Everybody thought he was going to get knocked out this fight.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't know if Cosmo's coming back, and we could go ahead and jump into that.
Oh,
I don't think so.
I hope he comes back.
I don't know. I don't know if people were as pleased with his performance as they thought they would be. And I'm not going to say who. I know a lot of people, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know if he comes back or not. That was a really good fight.
So was it a bad fight for Cosmo or a good fight for Igor is the question.
I just don't think it met the expectations.
Didn't Igor get knocked out?
No, he broke his hand.
Yeah, he broke his hand, so it was a doctor stoppage TKO. Well, it was not a doctor stoppage; it was a him stoppage. He said he broke his hand, and once you say you break your hand, they ain't gonna let you go no more. But if he didn't say anything, they would have let it go because they can't see inside his hand. They're gonna X-ray you during the fight. So he kind of quit, if you really think about it, because a lot of guys still fight after they break their shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I cut you off. It's fine. I was confused about that after the fight. This entire time, I thought he knocked him out.
Yeah, he basically gave up. Yeah, so
confused.
I would like to see Cosmo get one more chance. I'm all for second chances. I just don't think it met the expectations that they thought it was going to make a hit, you know what I'm saying, with him and Igor. But in my opinion, all the way up until that point, Igor kind of was standing up for the karate guys. Like I said, like it's been tough for them, right? I feel like he did put up a good performance compared to the rest of the guys that we seen got like completely dominated. So I do, Igor, what you said with the Igor, I like that. I like what you said. Mike Tyson, I think that's one of the more like
he also
I can't think of the word right now.
Igor.
Go ahead.
He also looked freaking massive in there.
Yeah. Facts.
He looked a lot bigger than
both of them look great. Cosmo didn't even look like I didn't even know who Cosmo was until he got into the ring. I didn't even realize who he was. He looked completely different in person for some odd reason. But yeah, man, it's to be told. We'll see what goes on within the next few months if we see Cosmo again. I think they keep him around for at least. I think they keep him around for at least 1 or 2 more fights. But it's a possibility that we might not see him.
We need a title fight. Just make Cosmo versus Perez for middleweight title.
That would be great.
Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm down with it. He's already a champion, so it's an easy way to fast track
Yeah,
him. I
maybe
mean, it makes
give
sense.
them both 1 or 2 more fights and then have it at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That would be
All
fun.
right. Yeah. Let's wrap this thing up, man. We got the main event. This one was,
This made me cry.
like I said, yeah. This was really rough to hold back the tears. After my boy get the win, and then this happened, it was really rough to hold back the tears on this one. I was pit side, like right there when it happened. I couldn't miss this fight to save my life, even though it hurt me to watch it. And very unfortunate for Owen. He got caught with a knee. Arturo landed one, and I honestly really don't know what happened. Like, I keep watching it back. I was there. It's just really, I don't know if he was actually out or if he was just covering himself, because at first it looked like he was covering himself. Then when he got up to it, and it was like he didn't know what was going on. So it's just like really awkward. It's just a really awkward moment. But Arturo got the win, and he said he would. He knew, he was very confident going in. He told me both of them were very confident going in, and Arturo just happened to be able to hit that shot at the right time, and he got the finish. Owen tell me has never been dropped like that before, so it was
very
rough.
smart of him because like Owen hasn't been tested in the extended clinch, and that extended clinch exists in karate combat, but doesn't exist in MMA. So even though Owen's worked in the clinch in MMA, he hasn't had experience with that extended clinch.
Yeah.
So Arturo made a very smart plan of testing him early in that clinch instead of playing with him in Arturo's preferred range.
Yeah. And he told me he was going to do that. He told me that was his plan. His plan was to go in and utilize what he knows from grappling, MMA, all the stuff he learned at Goshen over these 12 years and all that he learned in martial arts, and to utilize that against him because it's not something he was strong at. I just didn't think, I knew that it was a great route to a victory. I just didn't know it was that quick of a route to a victory for him, and that he would get it done that quickly. He very highly surprised me, and he does this every time. Both of them, when they fight, right? They surprise me and show me different levels of where they're at every time they fight. Owen just didn't have enough time in this one to show that, right?
Yeah, and also he's really held back in Ireland because in Ireland he can only work on his boxing.
Yeah, he doesn't have anybody else. His brother's a boxer. I was talking to his mom. His brother's about to go into another league now, and he's not even like, it's like, I wouldn't say light years, but they're not really at the same level. So it's not really going to help Owen as far as like, it'll help him more than it will help Owen, right? So he kind of needs that competition, that friendly competition around. And they are teammates. They have worked together. They have came in, but he hasn't had that in a consistent basis.
Yeah,
like
when he fights Goat Shed guys, like if he fights Arturo in a rematch, because let's face it, Owen will probably work his way back to it.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's not stopping. I'll tell you that right now.
He might need to find a different camp than just Goat Shed to be able to do his fight camps.
Yeah. He's got to come to America. And the second part is he's got the whole family situation over there. He's got to come to America, or he's going to have to go into the city and stay into the city for these fight camps, because where he lives, he's out in the country and his mom trains him. He's got to go in there where Connor and all of them are training that and all of that stuff. Like, he's got to get around the guys like D Bagley, all of them are out there. So it's like, he's got to get around those people and kind of like start to open up his palate to other MMA gyms and stuff in the area. And I feel like it's coming back. I don't see a stock loss drop of this one. Like we said, this was a pick 'em. Anybody could have won this fight.
But the issue is that a lot of the MMA gyms don't want to train Owen in Ireland, because Ireland is very weird with their culture of martial arts. Is if you're an MMA fighter, you go to an MMA gym.
Yeah. He can't even box. They took him off of boxing for 2 years just because he's fighting MMA right now. His mom was just telling me that. So yeah, you are completely correct. They do not play that shit out there. They're very picky and choosy. So it's rough though, bro. I was very sad at that fight. Pickers, I'm gonna let you end this off because we know we gotta go. I'm sorry, I'm over.
No,
5 minutes.
Fine. You're fine. You're all good. I appreciate it. No, I like you said, it was a pick 'em. I did have Arturo in my cards. I thought he would have had a slight advantage in the striking exchanges. But I think me, like everybody else, expected this to be a back and forth war, tit for tat. To go out there and get a first round knockout over a guy who's the inaugural bantamweight champ. He's been in there with some of the best guys in the league, and nobody's done that to him. Nobody anywhere has done that to him.
And also, they're both amazing because both Owen and Arturo have the same story of now. Of they went from debutante to champion in 1 year.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Didn't think about that either. Well, yeah. So you have there you go. It's almost a passing of the torch from a guy in his first year in karate combat to a guy with 9 fights who's been around since season 1. I'm glad to see Arturo get the win. I think it's great for the league. Like King said, he's really big on social media. He's trending. Another cool thing, not necessarily related to this fight for Karate Combat. So I'm actually on vacation in Myrtle Beach right now.
You're not too far from me.
That's right. You're in North Carolina. That's right.
Yeah, like 3 hours.
Yeah, there we go. Say hi on the way home. And I was at a sports bar, just having a drink, catch my breath for a minute, and I saw Robellis knocking out young Jacek on TV on ESPN on SportsCenter. So it's really, really cool to seeing this stuff get out there on the mainstream. I did not. That was not my bingo card either. So let's go.
I'm telling you, and Rafael Alves is the fucking Mr. Viral. We got to change his name. He's new. He's the new Mr. Viral, bro. Because I was just sending shit from all different types of Instagrams and shit to LARPing, just showing him the amount of millions he was getting on all these other pages that weren't even Karate Combat, anything to do with Karate Combat. He was just literally like, yo, passing it like everywhere. He's just killing it. So that's why I said, bro, that man is a showstopper. That man is a show starter. That man is a clip in itself. He is a clip, like just him. Just put a camera in front of him. He gonna make some shit happen. So shout out him. Arturo's the same way. Another one, like put the camera in front of him. The man literally came out with the Miami Vice. I don't know if y'all seen when they did they had me on the when they did the face-offs, they had me back there. And when he came out, I went, my little friend. I started doing that because he came out looking like Scarface, bro. So shout out him, man, for sure. For that, man. But that's episode 17. Real quick one today because we got shit to do. We got to go. My man MMA Pickers is on vacation. I'm going to let him go enjoy that. Mac Tyson is going to get back to being one of the best MMA journalists and coverers of our generation. And I'm going to get back to doing absolutely fucking nothing. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm going to do something today. I've been taking a little break from stuff. I got to get back. I know we haven't posted on the site. I'm at the page for like a few days, but it's because we was doing holidays. Was getting shit together. We'll get back to it next week. We will have somebody on. I don't know who yet. I'm gonna talk to the boys to see what we can do. Hopefully, I know somebody who's gonna be fighting on the next card. So that's coming soon. So until next time, I know it's no MMA, there's no Karate Combat, there's no UFC.
Wait. There is MMA. The
What?
New York Eve Ryson card.
Oh, okay. You got that. You do got that. I know there's no UFC and no Karate Combat. You could check that out.
Which
don't
is going to
lose
be
it.
Fire.
Yeah, don't lose it, guys. Don't
UFC's
lose
coming
it.
soon. We got a big card coming soon.
Big card.
I
I swear, if the Israel Adesanya fight won in Saudi Arabia, I would have cashed in one of my ticket requests. I promise you. I was literally going to do it. And I was like, bro, if Karate Combat was going, but then I realized like the time period. And I think they're going to like California around my birthday. So I think I'm going to do that one. But I was pissed, bro. Shara and Izzy on the same card. My Nigerian brother and my boy, the Pirate. Oh, I would have lost my shit, bro. And he's fighting Imavov. It's going to be a great fight. Last time I seen the Imavov fight, he won me like $1,800. So, but I don't want him to win this time. I'm sorry. I love Izzy. Any Nigerian? I'm sorry. If you're going against a Nigerian, you're fucked. That's kind of like my home country on my mom's side. So, fuck. Sorry.
Unless you're Dreekus.
Yeah, unless you're Dreekus. That's the only African I'm not going for.
I got to do one for
You know what, though? I kind of forgive Dreekus. I seen a video of him apologizing to Izzy and all of that and talking to his mom and his dad. So maybe I'm going to lay off Dreekus for a little bit. I'm going to chill. Just don't say no other shit, bro, or I'm back on your ass. I promise you. I promise you. I'm back on your ass, bro. No Diddy. Hey, listen, we out, man. That's the Warriors Verse episode 17. That's my boy MMA Pickers. That's my boy Mac Tyson Karate. I'm King Apollo, man, and we getting the fuck out of here, man. Enjoy your day. Happy holidays. We'll see y'all after the first. So enjoy your New Year's. Be safe. Drink responsibly. If you do drink, have some fun with family. I know it get hectic over the holiday times, but just deal with them. Drink. That's what I did. I didn't argue with nobody this time. You know why? Because I was drunk as fuck on Mezcal. I don't even remember what happened. That too. I did that before, but I was on an army base, so I couldn't really do much while I was there. So
I've been drinking
love y'all.
so much coquito.
Oh, bro, my girl made coquito cheesecake. I wish I could send y'all some. Matter of fact, Pickers, you actually do pass me. Text me when you're leaving. I might have to give you some coquito cheesecake, bro. You have to try this. Somebody has to tell.
Be up at 3 a.m. on Saturday?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I'll be up at 3 a.m. on Saturday. I probably fall asleep at 7 and wake up at 2. That's what old people do.